just because I rang her number by mistake.
It's Sunday morning on CBS, and here again is Charles Osgood.
For his millions of fans, there's no mistaking the sound of George Jones. And there's certainly no mistaking the fact that he's traveled a country mile and then some to get to the top of his field. Our chief Washington correspondent, Bob Schieffer, journeyed to the capital of country music, Nashville, for this Sunday profile.
We're from CBS News, and we wonder, is there any George Jones fans here tonight? They come from far and wide.
We have come from Ireland.
You came from Ireland?
Yes.
The young. How long have you been a George Jones fan?
Since I've been 2 years old.
And the not so young.
Hey, George, I'm Sweet Evelina, honey. You know I can get you going.
This is the mother church of country music, the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville, Tennessee. And they're here.
Love you, George.
Because George Jones is here.
Hello, everybody. Wonderful. Got a great crowd tonight. Tell me why, baby, why, baby, why, baby, why you make me cry, baby, cry, baby, cry, baby, cry.
George Jones has been singing for most of his 78 years. But after the life he's led, the wonder of it isn't that he's still singing. The wonder is he's still alive.
I was born to boogie, I guess, as Hank says.
Well, in North Carolina, way back in the hills, hear my old fat
Born to boogie and a whole lot more. The truth is, George Jones doesn't just sing country. His life is a country song.
I've been living in hell with a bar for sale, still paying for my cheating crime.
A tune of drinking and cheating, living and loving, but somehow getting through it all.
The hour I first believed.
Jones has recorded more than 900 songs and has no idea how many became hits. But there's been a bunch, like
White Lightning.
White Lightning.
So now the race is on, and here comes Pride in the backstretch.
The Race is On.
He stopped loving her.
He Stopped Loving Her Today.
They placed a ring upon his door.
It's not the number of hits, but the way he can wring every last bit of emotion out of a song that awed fellow singers like Waylon Jennings.
He said, if all of us could sing the way we wanted to, we would all sound like George Jones.
Well, that was very nice of you.
Listen to the blues they're playing.
Jones has a voice that has been shaped by a hard growing up. Out there in the big thicket country of southeast Texas, for the Jones family and their brood, about the only entertainment besides church was listening to the Grand Ole Opry on Saturday night.
When you grew up, you didn't have a lot of money. But were you happy in those days?
You know, it seems like you were because you didn't know any different. You know, when you don't have nothing, you know, you don't expect much.
Mm-hmm.
His pa brought him his first little Gene Autry guitar when he was 11. He learned 3 chords at Sunday school and was soon playing on small-town sidewalks.
Churches let out, and all these people started walking by, you know. Next thing I knew, you know, they were pitching nickels and pennies, dimes and quarters. I didn't even know you got paid, you know, for doing anything like that. After about an hour, I counted my money, and I had almost $25. And that was more money than I'd ever seen in my life.
By the age of 16, he had graduated to the honky-tonks of the Texas oil fields.
I didn't drink when I first started. I drank Coca-Colas, and that was it. But eventually, eats you up, you know, and you just have to say, well, I think I'll have me a beer. Maybe I can bear it a little better, you know.
Tell me why, baby,
Years in the beer joints and on local radio finally led to the Opry in 1956. But the long, rough road had taken its toll. As the hits came, so did more whiskey and then drugs.
One thing led to another, and then you go to something stronger, and next thing you know, you're just going down the road 100 miles an hour and don't have no brakes, you know.
Too many times he was too drunk to perform. Eventually, he earned the nickname No-Show Jones. The fans forgave him, but he's never forgiven himself.
It would tear me up to know that they probably saved for 2 or 3 months just to have enough money to come to the show and then find out I wasn't there.
Darling, if you...
The one place he still wishes he'd never shown up was the altar when he married singing partner Tammy Wynette in 1969.
We'll take each other from this day forward.
We love to hear each other sing. We like to sing together. I think we love that part of the love more than we did what you call real love, you know. But we should have stayed single, I reckon.
The failing marriage drove him deeper into drugs and alcohol. Friends hid his car keys to keep him out of bars. But Jones needed a drink so bad, he once commandeered a lawnmower and rode it to a beer joint.
I drove it all the way 2 or 3 miles till I could catch a ride. I was really something else back in those days.
By the 80s, Jones' career was stuck in low gear too. That is, until he was asked to try out a new song about a man who loves a woman until the moment he dies, a feelings Jones didn't know much about.
You didn't like that song when they first brought it to you.
Oh, I did. I liked it, Bob, but I kept thinking, no, this song ain't gonna sell because it's too sad.
Jones asked the writers to add an extra verse, a proper ending to the song that many call the best country song ever. He Stopped Loving Her Today.
What was it? She came to see him. Say it for me.
Well, if I can remember it.
She came to see him one more time.
The recitation, she came to see him one last time. We all wondered if she would.
You know she came back today for her last time. Oh, and we all wondered if she would. And it kept running through my mind. Well, this time, he's over her.
He's over her for good.
That song salvaged George Jones' career, but it would take a good-hearted woman to save his life.
When I first met George, he was just so sweet, so kind. And then, you know, he got comfortable with me, and then I started seeing the other part.
26 years ago, Nancy Sepulvedo became the fourth, and George says the last, Mrs. George Jones. The first years of their marriage were tough.
911, what's your emergency?
It's George Jones. George Jones is the one that's hurt.
But a near-fatal car wreck in 1999 finally set Jones straight, and he hasn't touched a drop since.
I knew all along that there was a big old heart in there because this man is just wonderful. He is a very, very big-hearted, good man.
The Jones estate in Nashville might look like a retirement haven, but it's anything but. Jones, with Nancy at his side, still plays more than 100 shows a year around the country. Just last year, First Lady Laura Bush helped celebrate his Lifetime Achievement Award at the Kennedy Center Honors in Washington.
There's no getting tired of a singer like him. And you don't have to be a country fan to hear the sound of musical greatness in George Jones.
Stars like Alan Jackson were on hand to pay tribute as well.
He still loved her through it all, hoping she'd come back again.
How long are you going to keep doing this, George?
Well, I'm going to keep doing it as long as anybody will put up with me.
It seems like Jones fans just won't let him quit. Why? Because if you've ever had your heart broken, or cheated, or got cheated on, or just had to deal with one of life's bad patches, you know that when you hear George Jones sing, He knows just how you feel.
I went to see him just today.